delighted to welcome you all to our Emerging Tech Seminar Series, where we look at the technological developments that are shaping our future. And today we will hear from Anastasia Negru, who is an alumni of our New Frontiers Entrepreneurial Development Programme here at TU Dublin, and is also founder of Margins AI. And her journey is inspiring, and her success not only reflects her own ingenuity, but also the broader impact of TU Dublin's innovation initiatives. And by supporting ventures like Anastasia's, TU Dublin contributes to the growth of the local economy and the advancement of knowledge and technology, and ultimately benefiting society as a whole. So there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions. If you want to pop questions into the Q&A, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll also give you an opportunity to talk and to ask questions at the end if you like. So without further ado, I'm delighted to hand over to Anastasia.
Cool, thanks so much. Thanks, Lorraine. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is feeling excited for the weekend. And what a better way to kick off the weekend than with a session on AI, right? Well, this is one of my favorite topics, and I try to put together a presentation where I can give you a taste of where AI is right now, what can you do with AI in the day-to-day, and also in your business potentially. I'm going to give you a very quick demo of Margins AI. I'm not trying to sell anything. I will try to describe how exactly did we get to use AI, and show you a bit around how the tool is coming together very nicely. I'll just share my screen right now. Okay, so when I put this together, I was actually counting on people being able to speak. So we're gonna have a very quick icebreaker at the beginning. So Lorraine, I hope you can be the voice of the people, of the participants. So guys, you can just put in the chat. I'm gonna ask you if it's true or false. Just put in there. And Lorraine, I want to see, what do people think about the next images. So obviously, for the icebreaker, I was trying to find an image that would be, interesting for everyone. So I just generated this using AI, since it's an AI focused session. I thought it's a very cute one, and I hope everyone enjoys it. All right, so for the next few slides, I'm gonna ask you, are these faces real or are these faces AI generated? So what do you think about this guy?
So we have a couple of real, yeah.
I can actually see this. Oh,
it's
yeah.
quite
Okay, so it's unclear, right? Well, this image is real. How about this young lady? Is it real or is it AI generated? Okay, there's more towards AI. It's AI. Okay. Great eye on AI. How about this guy? What do you guys think? It's 25-75 that it's AI. It's actually real. Okay. How about this fella? Okay. Is he real or is he AI? It's AI generated. Okay, this gentleman right here. Real. Oh, okay. This guy's real. Great catch, everyone. This man. AI. AI. Okay, so the experts. Oh, we get a real as well. Okay, I'll tell you that this is AI generated. Now the following image This man. Real AI, real AI. AI, real AI. How about this lady? It's probably AI, right? It really looks like AI. Maybe it's real. This is real. I know. And this young guy, AI, definitely AI, right? Okay, AI. Real. Okay. It's real. And this is probably the last image in the icebreaker. What do you guys think? This lady is real or is it AI? Okay. So it is an AI generated image. The purpose of this icebreaker was to bring awareness to you all. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's becoming harder and harder to tell what's AI and what's real. And speaking of artificial intelligence being everywhere, the AI technologies amounted to around 200 billion US dollars in 2023 and is expected to grow beyond 1.8 trillion US dollars in 2030. So that's a big, big shift. But what is AI? So the artificial intelligence is basically a simulation of human intelligence and all the processes regarding the intelligence by machines and especially by computer systems. There's two types of AI. So there's the narrow AI or the weak AI. And you've probably heard the last few months, people talk about general AI or strong AI. It's becoming, a question on everyone's lips. So the narrow AI is designed for specific tasks. It operates under a set of constraints and limitations. It does not possess consciousness or general intelligence. And part of the narrow or the weak AI is your Siri, the Google Translate, and ChatGPT as well. No matter how smart it seems, can you imagine what a general AI could look in the future? It's still a concept, a theoretical one. It's a concept of the system that would have the ability to understand, to learn, and to apply its intelligence across a wide range of tasks, and would act pretty much like a human. A few concepts before we slide deeper into AI and how exactly is it used for different industries and businesses. When we talk about AI, we talk a lot about data. So data is the fuel for learning. The data serves as the fuel for training the algorithms. The quality and the quantity of data is extremely important. It impacts directly the performance and the accuracy of AI systems. And the way that we usually say it when we develop an AI tool, we say that the output is pretty much dependent on the input. So if the data input is weak and it's not cleaned and it's insufficient, then the output it's gonna be pretty much the same as the input. Another concept in AI is machine learning. This is a subset of artificial intelligence, and it involves training algorithms to make certain predictions or decisions based on the data that is being input. And generally, machine learning would divide into three types. Supervised learning, it involves the training of an algorithm on labeled data. And when I talk about labeled data, is basically for you to describe the data that you have. And the way that you could look at it, especially for margins AI, the way that we do it when we label data, we say if two products are a match or not a match. So that's the way that we label our data internally. Part of the machine learning is the unsupervised learning. It involves training algorithm on unlabeled data. So you just throw that data at the algorithm and it would find its way around learning what it is. The reinforcement learning involves training an algorithm to make decisions based on rewards and punishments. A few real life examples of machine learning that you probably encounter every day without even knowing. So the Amazon Alexa uses AI and machine learning for personalization and voice recognition. The LinkedIn jobs use AI to match users with relevant job opportunities. There's also Google Maps that uses machine learning for traffic prediction, route optimization, Free Now for pricing, routing, matching riders with drivers. And one of my favorite examples is probably Netflix, that uses AI for personalized movie and TV show recommendations. And this is where you come in to label the data. So whenever you finish a movie or a series, there's the I don't like it, I like it, I love it option there. So you basically label your data. And then this is being fed into the algorithm. So the algorithms know what you're most probably to like the next time that you open Netflix and to recommend that to you. Another concept in artificial intelligence is deep learning. The deep learning is a subset of machine learning that involves training neural networks with multiple layers to recognize patterns in data. It's typically used for very complex tasks that involve extreme large amounts of data. And can be applied in recognition and language processing, and also in autonomous driving. A few real life examples of deep learning would be Tesla, for example, that use deep learning to train their algorithms for the Tesla cars that have the autonomous driving features. Siri uses deep learning for, all right, Lorraine?
Yeah, it dropped out there, you're saying, just for a minute, but I think we're back and we're fine.
Brilliant. Okay, sorry about that. For voice recognition and personal assistance, Siri and Apple are using deep learning. It also is being used in YouTube for video suggestions, as well as in Snapchat for facial recognition, filter application, and then your day-to-day Instagram for feed personalization and image recognition. The natural language processing is something that we talked about. Part of the deep learning is a subfield of AI that involves training machines to understand, interpret, and generate human language. And a few real life examples for NLP would be Google for search algorithms and assistance voice interaction, Facebook for content personalization and target advertising, Gmail for generating quick email responses, where it either finishes your line or suggests a thank you or see you later or no or yes, depending on the message in the initial email. Duolingo uses it for language learning and translation. Word uses it for grammar and style suggestions. And then Spotify for curating music playlists and interpreting different user queries. Okay, so we've talked about the day-to-day examples where you come across AI. How about the AI applications in business? Now, these applications can be extremely varied AI in their day-to-day business operations. I handpicked a few specific industries. Hopefully, you're going to find them useful. If you have any questions, we can definitely discuss this at the end, or if I haven't covered your specific business industry, we can also touch point about that at the end of the session. So when it comes to healthcare, AI can be used for medical imaging. It can analyze X-rays and CT scans and give the description. Also for personalized treatment in predicting disease risks and tailored treatment plans. In the electronic health records, AI can analyze these records and the data to forecast risks and identify patterns in medication data in order to prevent drug reactions. Fraud detection can benefit from AI that analyzes billing data and can flag potentially fraudulent claims, ensuring that all the resources are allocated to genuine patient care. The VA and chatbots in healthcare can offer remote patient guidance and deliver personalized health advice in a timely manner. The remote patient care can also be AI powered, especially when it comes to, for example, diabetic patients. They can continuously get monitored for their glucose levels through the wearables. So everyone can get patient care regardless of their location. In food tech, AI can come into the supply chain optimization by predicting demand, managing inventory, improving logistics. The quality control and inspection can be used with computer vision. And so the algorithms can detect that just the high quality products and items reach the market. It can also be used in flavors and recipe optimization. AI can analyze consumer preferences and trends and optimize food flavors and recipes. When it comes to menu customization in restaurants, AI can come in and personalize menus based on the customer preferences, dietary restrictions, or historical ordering data. In banking and financial services, AI can be used for real-time fraud detection. It can analyze transaction patterns, identify anomalies, flag potential fraudulent activities as well. It's being used in credit scoring and risk assessment. AI is being used to enhance the accuracy of assessing the creditworthiness of individuals and businesses. There's also chatbots for customer service. They provide instant responses to queries, can assist with any account inquiries or questions, and offer personalized financial advice. The algorithm trading and robo-advisors is being utilized in analyzing market trends, executing trades, optimizing investment portfolios. So it basically caters to individual preferences and risk profiles. AI is being used in anti-money laundering compliance, in detecting suspicious patterns and identifying potential money laundering activities. When it comes to supply chain and logistics, AI enhances warehouse operational efficiency. It analyzes the data on product demand, on inventory levels. It can also help to strategically rearrange storage areas in order to improve the space and the moving of the humans through the warehouses. When it comes to tracking and monitoring shipments, AI can reduce the delivery times, enhance overall efficiency, ensure reliable deliveries for customer satisfaction. It can also be used in real traffic management. So it allows immediate detection of delays, allowing to reroute deliveries. It considers various dynamic factors like, traffic, accidents, weather, and so on. Resource management is enabled by AI, where AI analyzes workload data, order volumes, processing times, and then optimizes tasks allocation between the human workers. In real estate, AI can determine the real estate worth by considering historical data, local market conditions, property attributions. It can also automate property management. Imagine if there's an agent that oversees multiple rental properties, it can come in, automate tasks, reduce errors, enhance efficiency for those agents. Also for portfolio optimization in real estate investment, it can maximize the portfolio returns by utilizing machine learning to basically analyze all the data, predict property values, predict rental incomes, and then also market fluctuations. When it comes to automated lead generation, AI is doing an amazing job. It can analyze vast data sets, and it can extract, pinpoint prospect customers based on a set of requirements. In manufacturing, AI is being used to detect defects. It incorporates self-learning into conventional systems and diminishing the false alarm and time-consuming manual checks. Also, it's useful in the assembly line integration. It streamlines processes, minimizes human intervention, ensures efficient, consistent, and error-free production. Predictive analytics, AI can predict equipment failure. It analyzes the sensor data, the maintenance record, and basically enables proactive schedule of maintenance activities. When it comes to real-time monitoring and analysis, AI can monitor in real time production lines. It can collect data from various sources. Quality control, again, we're going back to those visual inspections. It can compare images and video to your quality standards and then detect special or specific defects. Also very useful in process optimization by analyzing production data to identify inefficiencies and optimize manufacturing processes. In education, there's more and more AI coming into this industry, and it's coming through the personalized learning. So AI, it comes in as an AI that tailors the content and the learning paths to individual students. But it also provides personalized guidance and feedback, and it elevates the learning experience for students. And I've also actually been approached a couple of months ago by someone in TU Dublin, a head of faculty, who asked me, what do I think about AI being implemented for tutoring and grading and giving feedback for students? So I think it's gonna come pretty soon for TU Dublin as well. So for automated grading, the AI algorithms help in streamlining the processes. They automate assessments for assignments and quizzes and exams. It's also great for learning analytics, delving into learning analytics, analyzing student performance, and then unveiling patterns and trends. The AI-powered virtual assistants could be very important in education, answering student queries, offering different resources, and then also assisting with various admin tasks. In the legal businesses, AI, and in my opinion, this is one of the big things that is gonna one of the industries where AI is going to become very, very big. Obviously not going to replace your usual, lawyers and courts, but it's going to help streamline a lot of current processes, and it's going to cut down on resources and teams that are currently required when operating a legal business. So AI can come in to automate the review and extraction of key clauses. It reduces manual efforts, enhances efficiency in the legal documents examination. When it comes to research, AI can support that legal research by analyzing texts, case laws, and all the precedents out there. AI can facilitate discovery by efficiently analyzing, categorizing large volumes of electronic documents. You most probably know this is currently done by hand. It's a very manual work, going through the digital evidence, ensuring a thorough examination of all the digital materials. That's where AI can come in and do that in a matter of seconds. Risk assessment and compliance. AI can identify and assess all those legal risks. It can monitor regulatory compliance, offer recommendations for risk mitigation as well. The chatbots and virtual assistant can respond instantly to the most common legal queries, can assist in legal procedures, can improve client communication and engagement. And then also the document automation. AI tools help streamline the document generation process by reducing errors, saving time, ensuring document consistency, and contributing to a more efficient legal workflow. When it comes to retail and e-commerce, and this is one of my definitely my favorite one. I have a very soft spot for e-commerce. So AI in e-commerce is used probably more than the usual shopper, e-commerce shopper would think. It's used in generating personalized shopping experiences where you get suggestions for your preferred products or products that you might like. There is a lot of AI going on in that particular space. In the dynamic pricing optimization, where AI can enable dynamically those price adjustments to ensure the best pricing strategies, to ensure that the e-commerce sellers remain competitive, that they maximize profits, that they respond to market fluctuations in a matter of seconds. Also in inventory management and demand forecasting, AI helps the retailers and the e-commerce players to optimize inventory levels by predicting demand patterns, seasonal fluctuations, and trends. The chatbots for customer service, I'm sure you've seen one somewhere at least once, becoming more and more popular to respond customer queries, help with order tracking, or provide this instant support. Also, the visual search and image recognition. If you don't have the Google app on your phone where you can take a picture of pretty much anything and it would search for you automatically, I do strongly advise for you to get it. Anything from sunglasses that you can see in a movie to a thing that you found outdoors and you don't know what it is, Google search is going to help with that. So a little bit more about how we put the AI in Margins AI. So before I go into the AI part, I want to tell you what Margins AI is. So Margins AI is a B2B price intelligence platform aimed at e-commerce businesses selling physical goods online. We help those businesses to price and reprice their products according to their competitors, market trends, seasonality, and all the other factors that are important for those businesses. So Margins AI, Margins AI started with an idea back in 2019, and we got a lot of support from Enterprise Ireland through the years to develop this tool. And the latest funding that we got was through Enterprise Ireland Commercial Fund, where they basically fund projects for deep tech ideas or ideas that didn't exist. So when I've applied for this funding back in 2020, this was a cutting edge technology. So I came about the idea where I was selling online and I couldn't be competitive. Like I had this notebooks, I had my products, I had my prices, I worked out my margins, and then I had to monitor all my competitors, figure out what their products are, what their prices are, how often do they change their prices, how should I change my prices? So I got so frustrated and I said, why can't a machine do it? So that's how Margins AI was basically born. Throughout the years, we've put together a small but intelligent tool. So this is how Margins AI looks right now. And I really want to show you very quickly, where do we use AI and what was the biggest issue when we went into developing Margins AI. Initially, I was like, whoa, price prediction. This is so big. It's so exciting. We have to nail this. But when I put the team together and we started developing this, we came across a bigger issue, and it took us probably a year and a half to figure this out. but we did it. So with the vast majority of data available online throughout the e-commerce websites, what you're going to observe is that the vast majority of those products do not have a barcode displayed. Sometimes even the sellers wouldn't keep track of those product barcodes. So how do we know that two products are the same? A human can know, right, by just looking at the product pages, and it would say, yeah, this product is the same. So what we've tried to do with AI is try to replicate that process of human thinking when it comes to saying, yes, these two products are the same. So we went through that process in order to be able to say, okay, seller, these are your products, and this, we found them and we've matched them. These are your competitors' products. And this is the exact thing that you're going to see here in the report. This is a use case that we've done for Dunn Stores. So you're going to see their products, their competitors, and their competitors' prices here as well in the report. So let me give you an example of where AI is pretty cool. So when we developed the algorithms, we wanted for the algorithms to be very human-like thinking. So me as a human, when I look at for example, at these two products, I know that these are the same, right? So what do I look like? What do I look at? I look at the title, I look at the description, I look at the price. I also look at the image. So I know that this is the same. For the AI, the issue was that the wording is different. There is no barcode per se that it can say, yeah, these two products are the same based on, this exact data. So we've developed a very large algorithm that looks at the product page as a whole. So it looks at the product name, and here comes the natural language processing, where the algorithm knows that Bulmers is a brand, cider is a type of a drink, original, it comes with the brand, and then it also knows that it's 8 cans. You can see here 5 mils and 50 centiliters. Oh, sorry, it's just opening in there. So the algorithm figures out that these two are the same, but it also takes into consideration the description, just like a human would do. You just read the description to see, is this the real thing that I was looking for? And also looks at the image and does image recognition to make sure that those two images, if they're not the same, they are somewhat similar when it comes to the information displayed. So this is how we used AI. We're currently moving into the next phase of the development, where we're going to start predicting the prices. Took us a lot to figure it out, but we finally got there. Going back to our presentation, before we move to the next part, does anyone have any questions? Maybe anything that you wanted to? No, we're good.
There's nothing in the chat, Anastasia.
Brilliant. Okay, so I hope I got you very excited about AI by now. So in case you're wondering, okay, AI, it's big, it's cool. How do I get it? How do I implement it for my business or for my workplace? So when going ahead and implementing AI, I think there's a few points that you need to take into consideration. The very first one is assessing your business needs. So why do you need AI, and where do you need it? Where can AI add value to your business? Could be different areas: customer service, data analysis, process automation, decision making. What is it? So before going all into AI, stop and think, where do you need it? Where do you actually need it? You also will have to define your objectives. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve once you implement artificial intelligence. You can improve efficiency, you can reduce costs, you can enhance customer experience, but do have a goal that's going to guide you and your AI strategy forward. Data collection and preparation. So we've talked about data at the beginning. All the AI algorithms need data. And the best ones need vast amounts of data, of quality data, to be trained. So you need to ensure that, first of all, you have all the historical data. If you don't, but want to implement AI, start collecting that data today. Make sure that your data and all your data docs are in a row. The data has to be relevant, it has to be accurate, it has to be properly labeled. I think there are going to be a few questions around the labeling of data. So there's a lot of outsourcing companies that provide this service. So these people are, I kid you not, they're called data turkeys, like turkeys, as in the bird. There are companies that provide the data turkeys to label your data. The data preparation is a critical step. Once the data is good, prepared, relevant, then that you're halfway through a successful AI implementation. You do need to know your way around the AI technologies. Do choose them based on your business requirements. What is it that you're going to need? Machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, autonomous driving vehicles, potentially, or is it a combination of a few technologies when it comes to AI, just like we've used them for Margins AI? You might consider both pre-built solutions or custom in-house development. Think about how the AI that you want to implement is going to integrate with all your existing systems. You need to ensure that the solution integrates seamlessly especially with the workflows. And this is a big thing that I talk about to all my potential customers. We want Margins AI to come in and with a minimal disruption to your current workflow. And the only thing that it should do is enhance it and not disrupt it. Implementation might involve working with your internal IT and development department to establish all the connections and make sure that AI technology is going to integrate and it's going to work and it's going to be compatible with what you have. After that, you have to monitor and evaluate performance. And this is something that we do on a daily basis. We take snapshots of the database. We take snapshots of the data. We throw that at the algorithm to make sure that it's performing and nothing has gone, sideways in the meantime. So you would require monitoring tools to make sure that the algorithms are performing, and then the regular evaluation of the outcomes against your defined objectives. And you might need to make adjustments from time to time. Security and compliance, it's a big thing. You need to make sure that your data is safe. It doesn't matter if you're developing in-house or you're outsourcing. This is very important. Now, with the European AI Act, it's going to become more and more regulated, a bit safer for outsourcing your AI necessities, to put it like that. But if you build it in-house, you definitely need to go through the EU Artificial Intelligence Act and make sure that you're also compliant. And then highest standards of security, very crucial. Iteration and improvement. AI constantly is evolving. If when I started back in 2019 and then applied for the ComFund in 2020, this was a groundbreaking idea. It didn't exist. Now technology has finally caught up with us, and it's so much easier for us to develop all those things that we wanted to develop. And in fairness, the biggest things that were developed in the last year, because AI had progressed so much that it finally caught up with the technology that we wanted to implement. You will have to continuously assess your AI system's performance, talk to your users, internal, most important, for me as a software solution provider for my clients. Be prepared to make the necessary changes, iterate, improve, and make sure that you stay on top of the latest changes in the technology. Now, when it comes to AI solution, and I briefly talked about that when we talked about how do you implement it, you can go two ways about it. You can either outsource it, you can identify that 1 or 2 or 10 areas in the business that you need AI for. You can outsource, so you can do one or multiple tools depending on your requirements, or you can go the long route and build something in-house. Just be very careful that the implications are around the human and also the financial resources. So let's assume that you want to go down the in-house build route. This is the potential roles within the team. The AI teams are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if, previously you would have been okay to have a software developer, maybe a business analyst, and, it would have been great to throw a designer at it to have your internal tool built. Right now, the AI teams for the IT AI solutions are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, while I was looking at, this potential people that you might need to hire for your business in order to develop an AI technology, I went back to a conversation that I had numerous times with numerous people that were asking me, okay, so what's the bare minimum? What's the basic of an, who do I need to hire to kick off an AI project? And what I would suggest would be to have these 3 roles. Would be the business analyst. They are usually responsible for converting particular business challenges into the well-defined analysis plans. So vast majority of businesses already have a business analyst. They either work on Excels, they produce reports, they sometimes collect the data as well. So they would know the data part already inside out. Now, the next step in the hierarchy would be the data engineer. The data engineer is responsible for the data ingestion part. So they collect all that data. How do you get the data? Do you have it internally? Does it need to be cleaned? Do you need to get any external data? Like we do, for example, when we collect all the data from our clients' competitors, so that we know that, it's the good one. Data can be extracted, data can be harvested in different ways, and this is usually the job of a data engineer. They also ensure that the data is processed, it's stored, and then it's basically good to go, super clean, top level for the data scientists to develop their algorithms based on the data. So the data scientists role is around developing the algorithms, training the algorithms, supervising the algorithms, and then checking on those algorithms and making sure that they are functioning as they are intended. Okay, quick overview of what we've discussed. I don't know why the S's are here, sorry. But when we go to the S, which is pros, of implementing, of using AI for business, from where I stand, I think AI is not just a cool thing to have or to brag about, when having for your business. It also helps in increasing efficiency and productivity within the business. It helps in decision making. And this in mitigating the human error. This is a big one for me, and this is why I was so focused on developing Margins AI, and I thought tooth and nail to get this over the line. Humans are great, but especially repetitive tasks around data are very prone to human error. AI can also be a competitive advantage. You could potentially have the first mover advantage in your industry once you decide to implement artificial intelligence. It also offers scalability and can potentially offer you 24/7 operations. So imagine you don't need a human behind the desk or working around the sun in order to cater for customer service or answer customer queries. There can be a chat bot that can do that for you. The cons, though, is that you might have a few challenges around the workflow, the workforce, the workflows, and then the jobs that you might need to cut due to AI replacing them. But in fairness, this is my opinion. I don't see a big shift when it comes to people being, replaced by AI in the next at least 5 years. It's a more of a human and AI working together situation. So if you can achieve that and still keep your people optimized, cut down costs, I think this, is potentially a great opportunity for the business. When it comes to data privacy, this is a big con. So you do need to be careful with all your data. How do you collect it? Where do you store it? Who has access to it? GDPR still out there. Nobody canceled it. Also, the algorithms currently are being biased. I was talking to one of our potential customers to offer them help in product description when it comes to the product listing. And one of the concerns that they've shared is the algorithm of another software provider that they were using being extremely biased. And he showed me a few examples where it was, imagine it was a top, right? And the algorithm that generated that description had put in, you can combine this top with some sexy trousers and high heels. So they're like, whoa, our potential customers, they're like, whoa, we can't let this, go on the website. This is extremely sexist. So as you can imagine, it happens pretty much to everyone right now, and it's not somebody's fault. Is that the data that we currently have is already making the algorithms biased. You also need to consider the initial costs and all the technical challenges. So you're not gonna need only a team in place to get the data, to process the data, and to generate the algorithms. You will also need the infrastructure that it comes with all the data that you're going to have, a storage place, training environments, very powerful computers on site or virtual machines as well, which tend to be extremely costly. And also, I mentioned the EU AI Act and the new rules and regulations. And we used to joke with the team before this came out. We're like, let's go crazy now before the act is out, because later on it's going to be super strict and regulations. So let's, do things that we want to do, let's do them now in case they're going to be regulation later. So my assumption is that with the passing of time, the rules and regulations around AI and what you can do and what you cannot do and how exactly should you do it is going to be increasing, and it's going to be increasingly hard to potentially create something new or improve something that you have. So yeah, this is me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anastasia. I don't think we have any questions in the chat. Do we have any questions anyone wants to ask? We can unmute and take the questions, or you can raise your hand. I'm going to go with one while people are thinking about their question, if I can. Anastasia, that's fascinating. Thank you. And each time I hear a speaker on AI, I learn something new each time. From a student's perspective, how can our students protect themselves from dumbing down and losing their critical thinking and their analytical skills by an over-reliance of AI? And also, how can they ensure that the information they're accessing is accurate?
That's a great question. And I can tell you what I do, so I'm not too sucked into AI. When ChatGPT got big, I must confess, I got a bit crazy, because like you'd ask ChatGPT anything. It could put together presentations, it could time them for you, it could do things that would have taken so much time before. What I would advise everyone is to let themselves go, use it as much as they want, and that's going to help them cultivate that critical thinking. I got to a point where I was like, no, I think I can do it better, or these ideas are good, but I'm going to do some more research on top of what you provided. So while you can initially be a bit lazy with it, later on you do get the need to be to do a bit more extra research or add on to what the ChatGPT is suggesting. And something that I've been doing this year is also consulting different chats. So I usually do ChatGPT, and I also do Gemini for like simple things. Can you put together a bio, for example, or help me put together a 3-minute pitch based on this images or this slides or this information? And then I would look, compare, and sometimes pick and combine between the two.
So your hand is still involved in it?
Yes.
Right. There's a question in the chat. For your company, how did you collect the data to train your model?
So the data collection is something that we're doing on a weekly basis. We do that by harvesting the data. So initially, when we started working on the product, a big idea was to develop our in-house data harvesters, as in data scrapers, way to get that data. So first of all, the data that we need is widely available. The big question is not anymore, was how do we get it? How does it land in our database? So we've decided to really carefully think about the pros and cons of outsourcing or developing something in-house when it comes to data harvesting. So we are working actually with an Irish company. I like to keep everything local, so that the money stays here in Ireland. So we're working with the third-party company that helps us get that data. So they are very nichely specialized in data scraping and APIs, and that's how we get the data. They basically get it for us, and then they push it to our database.
Okay, so that's looking at your outsourcing or in-house model as well, reference to that. Another question here: in your opinion, what are the main advantages of ChatGPT versus 4.0 that is chargeable? while the version 3.5 is free. Is it the currency? And I'm missing, let's see. I think that's it. Is it the currency?
I'll be honest, I've been on the 3.5 for half a year probably. And then we share an account with my husband. We all have our own bits. This is another thing that you might want to consider, so that everyone, once you pay for it, everyone or more people take advantage of the cool things out there. To me, the 4 is a bit quicker. I like the GPTs that I can use to generate images, to create. So the ones that I've used were around images, also creating sales workflow, a marketing campaign potentially. And I think these are the main things. One thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if it's me just sending too many requests, but the way that I like to work with ChatGPT, right? So if there is a topic, for example, I have my very own thing that I use for applications when, funding, investment, accelerators. So I have this one where I've pumped all this information into one feed. So it's very niche regarding all those, the problem, the solution, the opportunity, the team, and so on and so forth. So that's where I ask for those specific things, as in, based on everything, can you tell me, or can you give me a 20 or whatever, 100 words about the team, or why this team is the correct team? And I would get a response. But the last while, the responses weren't that great. I don't know if it was something on their back end, or maybe my feed got too long and it was, getting lost in all that information. But yes, definitely. If you go for the paid one, make sure you use, you can also share, don't tell Sam Altman I suggested that. But in case you want to share with anyone in your family or a friend, you get better value. Use the GPTs, use separate kind of like threads based on the topics, and pump into that thread the information that you need to pump.
Thank you, Anastasia. And I think we are out of time, unfortunately, unless we have any more questions from either chat. I don't see any, or from the group.
Will AI create new roles that never existed before?
Yeah.
Well, these roles replace higher level roles in industry today. Oh, Una, that's a great question. If I knew, I mean, I would have probably been higher up in the Forbes 500 list. But what I think, not in the next 10 to 15 years, no chance. AI and humans working together, yes. AI replacing humans, maybe 5 years. AI replacing higher execs in businesses, potentially, but this is not an immediate threat. But then it will definitely create new roles for those algorithms to be developed and maintained and trained and retrained, for sure. So nobody's going to be left without a job.
Okay, that's good news. So I think on that note, thank you so much, Anastasia. We really appreciate it. And to Lorraine as well for organizing and setting up this connected series. And remember, you can access any of the recordings from the past programs and future recordings as well.